So how Kristoff came into my life was that a couple of months prior, I had to sadly put down another foster fail. And after a while, the flat had started to feel quite empty, and I thought it was time that I'd be able to help another little lost soul. And so I just started looking on Facebook, and I came across a post about him. His pictures, he looked pretty sad and sorry, and for whatever reason, he had lost his tail, and that resulted in him being incontinent, and that was both his bowel and his bladder. Chris wasn't the first special needs cat that I'd taken on. I had previously taken on a deaf cat who had been living for several years in a car park. She had also lost part of her ear. Well, she'd lost her ear and part of her nose, sadly, to cancer. So even though she was special needs as well, this was Chris's situation was something entirely different. I really wasn't quite sure what to expect, but thought I'll give it a shot, and I'm so glad that I did. He was such a beautiful boy with a real quiet dignity, and for what he had been dealt, the cards that he had been dealt in his life, he just took it all in his stride. And through the help of the amazing women who helped rescue him and supported me through my time with Chris, we tried to do everything that we could for him, including taking him to acupuncture sessions. Initially, we thought that they were working, but unfortunately, towards the end, they weren't doing. We weren't making the progress that we had hoped. Other than that, he just took each day as it came, and he had a really lovely life. It was almost a year to the day that I took him on as a foster that the difficult decision was made to have to put him down. Unfortunately, the results of the damage that had been done internally due to him losing the tail, it just wasn't fair for him his quality of life wouldn't be there anymore. So sadly, I had to put him down, and that nearly broke me. But I would do it all again in a heartbeat, and if I could have him back again, I absolutely would. He was an amazing cat, and it just upsets me that I thought that I would have him for longer. I just felt like what he had been handed out in terms of living on the street, living a tough life on the street in an area where it felt like there were extras from the Fast and the Furious constantly driving past. It just upset me that he had ultimately found a safe place, and he was loved, he was protected, he had a full belly, and I just thought that I would have him for longer. And so having him for only 12 months was a bit of a shock, but I can guarantee that he had a wonderful 12 months. And I know that it's hard. I know that fostering can be really, really hard, but I don't regret it for a second. I loved every minute with him, and I hope he realised that he was loved. If somebody out there is thinking of fostering, I absolutely would tell you to do it. It is so rewarding. It's not only rewarding for you, but it's also rewarding for your fosteree. And you won't regret it. You really won't regret it.